It has been 48 hours since Jey Uso has won the 2025 Royal Rumble. In today's video, we're pretty much just going to be asking a few questions and kind of answering on was it the right decision, who should he face at WrestleMania, and just kind of a whole bunch of things. It's kind of like a pretty much like a ramble type of video almost, but yeah, kind of going to get into things straight away. But start with the main question: was Jey Uso the right winner of the Royal Rumble?
So obviously the right winner, there is no right winner. If Jey Uso didn't win, there would have been people who would have said Cena should have won, Roman should have won, Seth should have won, Punk should have won. So there is no right winner. But now that we just finished up watching the Monday Night Raw after the Royal Rumble, and I mean, it's hard to deny that he was a good choice. Like, you can't say that he was a bad choice based on crowd reaction. Everyone loves Jey Uso. When he does main event, if he were to win the title at Mania, he's gonna have 70,000 people doing the yeet. Everyone's gonna be going crazy. So, was it my choice to win, or was it my favorite pick that I like to win? Not necessarily. But now that I have more time to think about it and see potential, and I have storylines in my mind that maybe we could get into that could help it, save it, whatever way you want to put it. But yeah, overall, I would say not my favorite pick, but I see why they did pick him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely agree that you can't say it's a bad decision just because, like you just said, the crowd reaction was absolutely insane for him on this past Raw. And you came in my room, and after that segment happened, and you were like, when was the last time somebody actually got like an encore for their intro? But the only argument I just have against that would just be there's guys who were more over and didn't get nearly the same opportunities that Jey is getting now, or there's guys who are more over who aren't going to get that opportunity now. But yeah, I definitely agree that from a marketing standpoint, he's one of the top merch sellers, not the top merch seller in WWE right now. So money-wise, as a business decision, I do get it. But I think as a wrestling fan and for what I want to see, and again, they're not always going to make me happy. That's what wrestling is at this point. I just think there's a lot more logical decisions you could have done. There's more just storytelling you can do, and I just think that as a match quality as well, there's a lot of guys who's going to give you a better match at WrestleMania more than Jey Uso, really.
Yeah, I definitely agree. But there's a lot of things going on right now in the WWE. We're seeing kind of a potential heel turn of Cody Rhodes coming in. Kevin Owens is kind of running rampant. We just seen him package pile driver Kevin Owens. His Raw is going off air. Charlotte Flair just came back. Becky Lynch is on the horizon. Alexa Bliss just came in. Roxanne is gonna be potentially a big star coming up. The way they kind of treated her in the Royal Rumble, and the way she was kind of my MVP out of the whole Royal Rumble, both men and women. I feel like she did a lot in there, and it made a statement about her saying, she is, that good, and she does deserve to be there, and she does deserve to be on the main roster in particular. But something that after he wins, you're kind of thinking about what could happen, what can't happen. And one of the things I kind of brought up to you earlier that I guess I'll bring up here as well is I had the idea in mind that what if Sami Zayn were to win the title from Cody Rhodes? That would set up Jey versus Sami at WrestleMania if we were to choose him, obviously. Sami Zayn is potentially turning heel. We've seen a lot of things going that way. However, the package pile driver from Kevin Owens might say different. It might say Kevin's still the heel and he's still the babyface. But however, we also just seen tonight Karrion Kross get involved with them, which every person before then has turned heel. So I'm kind of feeling like my best predicament coming from this would be a Sami Zayn versus Jey Uso at WrestleMania for the title, and Jey Uso would win that. And I think that's probably my best scenario that I kind of thought of, and I don't know how we get there. There's a lot of storytelling to do to get to that point. However, I do think that would be a crazy moment, a cool moment to see Jey versus Sami, just blood feud almost going into it, and they just want to end each other, kind of to the style of Cody and Kevin, what they just did, but on WrestleMania on the biggest stage. So that's kind of my best predicament. So what would yours be, I guess?
Yeah, so I have two. It's the one that I think I told you about on the night of the show was this is not one that I want to see, but one that I could definitely see that WWE could do, is that Roman Reigns, obviously this kind of changes now that he's indefinitely out for a little while, but Roman Reigns were to win the world champion again, and then Jay versus Roman at WrestleMania. Bloodline match, tribal combat, you would probably do that for the title, for the head of the table, whatever. But the one that I probably want to see more is probably Cody, just because they have, obviously history with the tag team belts, and also they were once upon a time enemies as well during the Tyler Roman versus Cody stuff like that. So yeah, I just think that Cody would probably be better, especially if he goes heel versus, the biggest baby face turns to the biggest heel, and then, now the biggest baby face is trying to take that on and take the belt from him. So that's probably where I would go, is just Cody. But it'd be really help if he is the heel in that feud.
Yeah, and they seem to be leaning, kind of trying to make us believe that he's going against Gunther. And after he won the Royal Rumble, he did like a ringside interview where he said that he's going after the heavyweight title. And then in the post Royal Rumble kind of post show, he also said that, he is going to go maybe both ways. He's going to take both into consideration. And then on Raw, he also said that he's going to go face Cody on the SmackDown coming up. So, we still got potential for both ways. They are kind of leaning more, at least, on camera, leaning more towards Gunther. However, I think our scenarios would be fun, different, off the wall. They kind of prove that they're willing to do risky things. This Jay Uso thing is sort of risky because, it could just be a big flop. It could be. I'm not gonna wish that on Jay Uso by any means. Like, obviously, I want the WrestleMania to be the best because I'm gonna watch it and I want to enjoy it. But it is very risky. But I think, being that they did show that they are willing to take that risk, I think, maybe we could take a few more and put the belt on the Sami Zayn, that Elimination Chamber potentially. Let him beat Cody Rhodes. Let Cody Rhodes kind of, I don't know what that would put him in for WrestleMania. That's kind of the big question, is where does that put him? Maybe he could face Braun Breaker or some other champion. Maybe he's some sort of tag team. I don't know what he would do. That's kind of the big question if he were to lose the title, and why kind of my scenario would suck in a way for at least the Cody fans. But, there definitely would be something to put him into, I'm sure. But I don't know exactly what, in my storyline right now, but yeah.
Yeah, you probably, if that were the case, if Cody were to drop out, I think you'd probably do him versus Cena, probably. Just because, you want Cena on the card unless Cena goes for Gunther, but then after that, then I don't know what Cody does for sure. But, yeah, just with Jay, and you kind of mentioned the Gunther stuff. I definitely agree. It definitely seems like it's gonna be Jay versus Gunther as of right now. But I'm sure this is gonna come to a swerve because, yeah, I kind of said in the results video that we've seen this too many times. We've seen it last week at this point. And do I want to see a third or fourth match between them? Not at all. None of them have been stellar. None have been amazing. So, yeah, hopefully just something fresh between the two. Between Jay and really anybody new is probably the best decision, really.
Yeah, but yeah, overall, we all seen the crowd reaction after he did win. The crowd went absolutely nuts. Then on this Raw that just passed, he comes out. They go nuts. They give him an encore. They said, "Chan, you deserve it," multiple times. Jay Uso's crying on stage. It was very heartfelt. It made me more of a fan of Jay Uso, I'll say. Made me feel like, okay, he did at the end of the day put in a lot of work together. He was on every single Raw, every single SmackDown. He was doing matches versus everybody. He was losing to a lot of people. He was winning versus a lot of people. He did tag matches, triple threat matches, elimination chamber matches. He's done it all. So he does definitely deserve a WrestleMania main event. It's just tough that it came on the one that everyone wanted CM Punk to main event. Everyone wanted Cody to main event, Gunther to main event, maybe give it to Rhea. There's a lot of people who could get it. Jay Uso got it, and obviously a lot of people aren't going to be happy with that either way. But it is a fun pick. I definitely did not expect this at all. This was there was probably 9-10 other people I would have picked before Jay Uso in this Royal Rumble. But it was a very good Royal Rumble nonetheless, and I did have a lot of fun.
Yeah, the idea of Jay Uso winning is sparking a lot of talk and controversy in WWE, which give them publicity, and as they say, good any publicity is good publicity. So yeah, definitely gets people talking. Whether they try to do something with Swerve at the last minute is going to be very interesting. I think once the decision does happen, hopefully we just get a good build for this main event. Obviously, last year there wasn't a lot between Roman and Cody because we already had so much, and the story was already told. It's just a rematch. Cody needs to get it done. So hopefully they can try to live up to that. Obviously, it's really hard because of how good last year was. But yeah, hopefully they can just tell a really good story that in the end I can look like an idiot in that results video saying I hated the decision and that it was awful and all that. But yeah, I would love to be wrong. But yeah, definitely should be interested to see what comes from this.
Yeah, but we are gonna wrap the video up here. If you do want to see our live reactions, you can go to the live tab of our channel, and you can watch our full Royal Rumble live reactions. Obviously, there's not going to be any video there, but yeah, you can see all our live reactions to the Jey Uso moment, the Alexa Bliss return. And if there's anything else you want us to talk about from the Royal Rumble, let us know below. But we'll catch you guys in the next one.